Hello guys and welcome once more to the GCE panel online. Today we are going to be presenting something different unlike the GCE questions. We'll be looking at the HND exams for 2022 corrections, and we will continue with many other corrections, so stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe. In this video as well, we are going to be giving you directions on private universities where you can study in Douala, in Yaoundé, in Bamenda and so on. After your advanced level, you equally give directives to those who are interested in studying just for 1 year to have their O level or their A level, especially those who are workers, they don't have time and they really wish to continue with their education. They can study just online and prepare effectively for the GCE in just 6 to 9 months online. So please follow this video to the end and don't forget to subscribe, to leave your likes and to share so that the message is diffused to as many people as possible. Because the more viewers and likes we have for the videos, the more videos we'll make for you. Stay tuned as we go through this paper. So this paper is captioned Discrete Mathematics. This paper is normally 4 hours, but we are going to answer it in the shortest time possible. It is not just for software engineering students, but other specialties can equally have access to this and enjoy it equally. From our database, you can have access to past GCE questions, past HND questions, and we are equally working on solutions to prepare you because we know you have been having a lot of issues having these past questions for some time. That is why we are coming up with this for you so that you prepare well ahead of time. So the first school we're advertising here, one of the best schools in Yaoundé, the private university, which is affiliated to 3 universities, affiliated to the University of Nchang, University of Garoua, and the University of Boya. Okay, so this school is called ISPA, Institut Supérieur Polytechnique Les Amandins, ISPA. And where is this school located? This school is located at Komkana. Komkana is not far from a Tukebe area for those who live at the Tukebe, because most Anglophons like to live in this area in Biemasi. And it's not also far from the central town. So if you're living at Provence or Lonkak or any other place in town, you can equally and easily get access or find yourself in this school. So you just go to Komkanda and you talk about they should leave you at Immeuble Macabo. From there, it's just a stone throw you get to this institute. Besides, by the time you get there, you will see this building, and it's a very popular place. And I assure you, when you get to this school, if you are to study in English, you study just in English. You are not mixed with any francophone. If you are to study in French, you study just in French. You have no business with any anglophone. So when you get to this school, you choose the language and the course you want to study, and you are taken there. In this video, immediately after this one, we are going to talk more about this school. So we plead on you to follow the advertisement of this school on the video immediately after this one. We equally have other campuses that we'll be talking about, and this is going to help you. A lot of Anglophones get stranded here in Yaoundé, here in Douala, and in many other places because they don't have the orientation of where to go. We are telling you about where you can go to, not because they have asked us to, but because we have done our findings and we think this is the best place for you. Another good thing about this school is that this 2023 academic year, they are opening 2 more campuses. One at Etudi, where they make, not far from where they make a passport, actually, not far from the presidency as well. And I'll equally be giving you more update about, like those of you like to travel, where to make passports that you don't pass through fraudulent people who take money from you. I'll give you directives on exactly how and where you can get to make your passport without passing through all these middlemen. And your passport can come out in 2 days, 3 days. Okay, so please follow our next subsequent videos which are talking about passports, ID cards. For those of you who gave birth to your children out of the country, how you can get a birth certificate in Cameroon, because sometimes you meet people don't know and they'll ask you to change the place of birth and all of that, and your child will have a lot of problems and might not even be able to travel in future. So follow our videos to be giving you highlights on most of these things. Thank you. Stay tuned as we progress. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to share, especially on Facebook, WhatsApp, and all other groups in which you find yourself. So the first part of this paper is Discrete Mathematics Section A, which is multiple choice. It has 40 multiple choice questions, which is for 20 marks, and normally it is estimated that you should answer all of these in 1 hour. And now, what is the key for you to succeed in HND? HND to me is not different from high school work. In fact, advanced level to me is more difficult than HND. So, if you have the content, you have a mastery of this content, you are accurate, and you can spice it up with speed, then all of this HND thing will be nothing for you. For those of you who have done physics and mathematics, software engineering will be a very, very good course for you to take, and you can take from the institute that we just talked about earlier on. Equally, there is another campus at this other place here in town, at Omispo, where if you like to study, we can give you directives. This one is purely an Anglophone private university. The other campuses for this school are French speaking, but this particular campus is English. In a subsequent tutorial, we'll be talking about this, about the registration modalities and everything you need to know about these campuses. So during this holiday, make sure you follow these our tutorials on much and much more. For those of you who like to equally do short courses in programming, web development, and so on, there is a very important place at Etukebe here called at Centre d'Handicapés, Marché de Centre, where there is that hospital and whatever. If you get to this place, almost all Anglophones know this place. It's not far from the Mogambo Park or Amumezam. It's just 100 francs. When you get to this center called AdTech Center, at AdTech Center, they provide a lot of students in universities, they even host universities, where children, irrespective of your age, you can do courses in basics of computer. You can do general documentation, like for those of you working documentations. For children who would like to start learning so many things on programming, they have courses for different levels. All of you who are computer illiterate, this is the best place for you to come because they have morning, afternoon, and night sessions. So at AdTech Center, Centre d'Handicapés, you can have all of these courses. Most HND students come here for their internship. So many come for paid. So if you come for a paid internship and whatever, you will have much more. Follow our subsequent videos. I will talk again so much about AdTech Center. Where is AdTech Center located? At Centre d'Handicapés. Just go into the market, that small market there, they call it Petit Marché de Centre, where the center is just inside that market. So, you know, it's a very, very important place. It's not hidden, it's open, it's welcoming, and I'll tell you much more about AdTech Center. So let's answer the first question here. And before I move to that, I think there is one last point equally too. Our platform for the past years, you have been receiving recommendations and so on, and we are being requested. About 6 months ago, this our panel started with an online program. This program is strictly 6 to 9 months to prepare you for the GCE. Strictly 6 to 9 months to prepare for the GCE. Please, if you need more information, contact the number below this video, or you can get to us directly for more information. Now, how do we prepare you in 6 to 9 months? Our program is strictly exam oriented. What type of exam? GCE oriented. For those of you who are working, or those of you who don't have time, or some people who don't like to sit with children, our program has different sessions in which you can study just online at your convenience. You don't need to download any application or whatever. Once you join, you'll find or get all the modalities. In a subsequent video, we'll be detailing everything about this program. So, since it's exam focused, we'll be talking about tutorials on various subjects. For example, you take economics, we trash the concepts of demand and supply, you answer questions as well as many other mocks. Then we give you quizzes like that as GCE styles, like you're writing a GCE every month to prepare for the upcoming exam, because many students got stranded during the exam because they are not well prepared. We are focused on answering questions, setting questions for you, teaching you how to set your own questions and answer them. This is suitable for students. It can help you already going to school and you are not focused, or you have a lot of difficulty, you are fighting in school and work at the same time. You can study anywhere and at any time. Just the only thing you need to have is internet connection. About payments or whatever, don't bother. When you register, we will tell you about any payments you have to do. If you want to take a 1 week preps first of all, before you pay, no problem. So you can always contact us and get more information about this. This program is running full time beginning August this 2023. And our program, we're not going to take so many people. Wherever you're in the country and interested, get to us. Get to us. Because as time progresses, the fee per month will be increasing. Because in other time, many students will be coming in. So those who come first come, first serve, they're going to benefit so much from our 25% to 40% discount. So contact us. Some of you have been working with us. Some of you have prepared your exam with us and so on. We equally have booklets. These our booklets are past questions and solutions which you can buy online. So it saves you time and whatever. Now let's take the first question in this section A. So here it reads the range of data of the data 5, 15, 20, 3, 1, -5, and 17 is. In our last video where we were solving, many students complained that we were too fast. So I tried to give them information on how they can reduce the speed using their YouTube settings, but some still find difficulties. So here we are going to take it gently. So here we have the range. Range of data means highest value minus the lowest value. And here the highest value that we have is 20, sorry, and the lowest is -5. Now you have to be careful when we'll be subtracting, because it's highest minus lowest. That's going to give us 20 minus -5. Those two negative signs together, not separated by any number, is going to give us a plus. So be very careful here, because some students will fail this first one. Any first question in an exam is not the question that you should fail. It's a gift, it's a dash, it's a cadeau. So grab it. So range is equal to the highest value, which is 20, minus which value? Minus -5 now, which is the smaller one. And 20 minus -5, you have two negative signs together, not separated by anything. We replace that by a plus sign. And this gives us 25. So the key is A. The key for HND is that you should have content, master that content, be accurate with it, and add speed. From there, you can now answer any question. But if you are not answering questions, because in exam we are testing question answering skills, not what you know. You can know and you fail. Many people know and they fail. Why? Because they don't have the skills to answer questions. So don't deceive yourself by saying that I know. You can only claim that you know when you answer questions. So you can visit our website where you can get past questions for HND and so on. You cannot get them, you contact us and you can see how we can help you out. For those who need solutions, you equally contact us and much more. So question 2, given that the mean of 4 numbers is 12, and when the fifth number is added, the mean becomes 15, the fifth number is. Now we know that mean is the same as sum of scores divided by number of scores, right? So let's not get confused here, okay? So the first thing we need is, for these 4 numbers, the mean is 12. We need the sum of these 4 numbers. So we can now add the 4 numbers and divide by 5 to have this mean, which is 15, but we are looking for that fifth number. So firstly, we'll look for the sum of the first 4 numbers that we have, whose mean is 12. So the sum of these 4 numbers, if their mean is 12, it means that the sum should be 12 times 4. Because we had the sum divided by 4 to have 12. So therefore the sum will be equal to 12 times 4, which is equal to what? 48, okay? So this gives us 48. Now, we have the sum of the 4 numbers. Now the fifth number that is added, let that fifth number be x. Let that fifth number be x or a or y or anything you love. Use it. Some people say that it's easy to solve with a more than x. Anyone choose. So now what will be the sum of these 5 numbers now? The sum of the 4 numbers is 48. The fifth number is x. The sum of these 5 numbers will be 48 plus this x, okay? So 48 plus x. Now, what will be the mean? Mean or average will be equal to the sum of these 5 numbers now divided by 5, because there are 5 numbers. The sum of these 5 numbers is x plus 48. Now divided by what? Divided by 5. But we're told that this mean is 15. So when we say x plus 48 divided by 5, our result should be 15. From here, we have a simple linear equation which we can now solve for x. So x plus 48, when we cross multiply, will be equal to 75. Okay, x plus 48 will be 75, and from here x will be equal to 75 minus 48, which is equal to 27. So the key here is D. Question number 3. The following information is known about a sample. N is equal to 100. The sum of all the values is 200. And the sum of the value of the square of the values is 600. What is the variance of the sample? Now there are 2 types of variance. You talk about population variance and sample variance. In this question, they are asking for the sample variance. Variance equally has 2 formulae, okay? So we are going to be using the formula based on the data. From this data they have given us, we are going to use the second formula for sample variance, which is stated as follows. S squared, that's small s squared, this stands for sample. The sample variance s squared is equal to summation x squared minus summation of x all squared divided by what? divided by n, the number of scores, all that on n minus 1. So this is the formula I'm going to use because this is the statistics, or this is the data they have given us. They have given us summation x squared and they have given us summation x. Okay? They have equally given us a sample size, which is 100. So when we put this in this formula and simplify, we are going to have 600 minus 200 all squared divided by 100, all that on 100 minus 1. That's going to give us a value which, when approximated to the nearest whole number, will be equal to 2. So we can see that the key here is A, which is 2. Guys, please know that as you watch this video, if you don't subscribe, you might not be able to watch the last part of the videos. We have a lot of information too that is pending, without which you might not have access to it. We have made some of our videos and force subscribe, because we know that you watch and you will not subscribe. We would like you to subscribe to motivate us to make more videos. Without those subscriptions, we don't know if you will like the work or not. Leave your likes, leave your comments. Let us know if the work is good. If it's not good, we see where we have to correct or adjust. But without your comments and adjustments, then we will not know if we are helping you or we are not helping you. So please leave your likes, leave your comments, subscribe and share. The more people watch these videos, the more we are motivated to make more. It means that people are interested in this and we are helping the community. Okay? So thank you so much in advance, as we know that you'll be sharing this video before you even finish or even before you continue. So question 4. The lower class limit of the class 10 to 19 in the data 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29 is. So when we talk about class limits, what do we mean? Is class limit the same as class boundary? The answer is no. Class limit is not the same as class boundary. Let's look at what has been given in this question. 10 to 19 is a class. 0 to 9 is a class. 20 to 29 is a class. So all these are classes. The lower value in this class is called a class limit. The upper value is called equally a class limit. But one is the lower class limit and one is the upper class limit. So in this question, 10 to 19, 10 is the lower class limit, 19 is the upper class limit. 0 to 9, 0 is the lower class limit, 9 is the upper class limit. 10 to 19, we have talked about that. 20 to 29, 20 is the lower class limit, 29 is the upper class limit. For class boundary, it is obtained when we are subtracting 5 from the lower class limit, or when we are adding 0.5 to the upper class limit. When we subtract 0.5 from the lower class limit, we have the lower class boundary. And when we add 0.5 to the upper class limit, we have the upper class boundary. So take note about class limit and class boundaries. So you can see on this table here, this is what I'm just explaining. Okay. All right. So with this data, we have just left this one here as 0 because this lower class limit here is 0. So there will be no need to subtracting 0.5 here, because this data seems to be just positive. Okay. So our key here is 10, because here the lower class limit is 10. 19 is the upper class limit. So from this question 2, these are distractors. 10.5 here that we have. 10.5 even has no place here. It is 9.5 that is the lower class what? Lower class boundary. The upper class boundary for this one should be 19.5. Question 5. The stem and leaf plot of the data set is shown below. The diagram reveals that the population from which the data is drawn is. Now, when they give us stem and leaf plots, okay, with stem and leaf plots, we can see if the data is symmetrical or not. If the data is symmetrical, then we say it is normally distributed. And this is an example of a curve that's normally distributed. With a normal distributed data, you can fold it along this mirror line, and this other side on top will fall exactly on the other line, part or below. So there's some sort of a line of symmetry, and we say it's symmetrical or normal. But now let's look at this data. The way it's typed on the question paper, it can confuse students, because this one here, all these numbers on this line here end around this 4. But now you have to open your eyes in the exam and shift it and see very well. So if you look at this, we have 3 values here. Here we have 3. So from these 2, you can be thinking that is normal. Now from the second lines you compare, here we have 5, 6, 4, 3, 5, 4. This is 5. But here, how many do we have? We have a 6. 2, 8, 0, 2, 4, 3. This is 6. And then this one now is the middle line. So from here, we see now that if we draw a line, this thing is going to bulge somehow but downwards. So in this case, we look at the type of skewness. So make sure you don't guess normality. You need to know the shapes. Okay? So the data is normal if the curve is symmetrical. These are other shapes that we can have. Okay? In this case, we say it is left skewed. when this big part, my students call it buttocks, when the buttocks is down, you say it's left skewed. But if the buttocks is now up like this, you say it's right skewed. I'm sorry that I'm using this, but this is what my students use as mnemonic to understand this thing very well. So I had to learn from them. Maybe other students may be interested. So when it bulges upwards like this, we say it's left, it's right skewed. Downward, it's left skewed. So this our data here. It bulges but downwards, right? So you can see that it is like this. It bulges downwards instead. So in this case, we say it is left skewed. Okay. So it is skewed to the left, or it is left skewed. So if you draw this diagram out, we're going to have something like this one. It's left skewed. Question 6. The probability density function f of a random variable x is defined by this. F of x equals 6x into 1 minus x from 0 to 1 and 0 elsewhere. So find the probability of x less than 0.05. So first of all, in this question, the answer was not found because we think there is a typo here. If you like, you can solve yourself and you see. So probably a typo, since 0.05 gives no result. So using 0.5 instead gave us one of these values here. So if you try with 0.05, you do not have the result. But working with 0.5, we had the result. So in this, we are going to answer it using 0.5. Note that in exams, this can happen as well. So you also have to use your head, okay? So for a probability density function, do not substitute to get the probability. Like say, you just say f of 0.05 and you put here to see if you have the answer. No. The probability of a probability density function is defined as the value from the lower value up to that number that is given. So it will be defined from 0 to what? To 0.05. But in this case, since you're using 0.5, we'll end at 0.5, okay? So the probability will be equal to, for x less than 0.5, will be equal to the integral of what? The integral of this f of x dx from 0 to this value that's given here, from the lower value that is defined from 0 to 0.5 dx. So when we integrate this, we are going to have 3x squared minus 2x cubed from 0 to 5. Upper limit minus lower limit is going to give us 0.5. Well, this is the answer here, 0.5. So the answer also gives us 0.5, which is good. Okay. So take note of all of this. As we have said, if you have brothers, sisters, friends, or relatives who are having a tight schedule and they want to prepare for the GCE online, even those who are abroad, they want to prepare and come to Cameroon to write and go back abroad, you can ask them to contact us for the preparation of the GCE. For this 2023 year, we are going to be preparing in the following subjects. We'll start off with so many subjects. We have math, physics, chemistry, economics, commerce, biology, computer science, additional mathematics, chemistry, and a lot more. Okay? English and French are not left out. We have not mentioned these ones because we know that you already know that they should be there normally. For advanced levels, we have physics, mathematics, chemistry, biology. Okay? You currently have geology, that's for the sciences. For the arts, we have economics, history, geography, and mathematics. We will equally be adding English and French, as well as special bilingual for the ordinary level. Please contact us if you have any information or you need any stuff. We have seasoned teachers who have been markers, who have been teaching for long, as well as many who will be coming in, who have been working online and they know the XYZs of teaching and preparing you for any exam. So contact us for this. Question 7. If the probability of A is equal to 0.75, the probability of B equals 0.4, and the probability of A or B equals 0.9, find the probability of A and B. Now, in the world of probability, and it means both. So if you are applying the third law of probability, the formula, we are going to have probability of A union B to be equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A intersection B. We can make probability of A intersection B as the subject of the formula because this is the AND probability, okay? So the probability of A union B is equal to probability of A plus probability of B plus, minus probability of A intersection B. So making probability of A intersection B the subject of the formula will give us probability of A intersection B to be equal to probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A union B. Okay, we now put in the values. We have 0.75 plus 0.4 minus 0.9, and this gives us 0.25. So our key here is D. Guys, don't forget to subscribe and to leave your comments, your likes, and your share. We are begging on you to share these our videos on YouTube, on TikTok. You can make short videos, make short on YouTube, where you can share these videos. Please share it on WhatsApp groups that many students come to know about us and promote us, motivate us to produce more videos. If you're interested in our work and you want to send us something, please, you can contact the numbers below this video to get us something. Nothing is too small. If you have people who are in UK, US, and other countries who are interested in having online tutors to work with their kids and so on, you can contact us. You have seen our work and you know that we can deliver. Okay, we work with many others and so on. Okay. Now, when the computer goes down, there is 75% chance that it is due to an overload, and a 15% chance that it is due to software problem. There is an 85% chance that it is due to an overload or software problem. The probability that the breakdown is only due to software problem is, there are keywords in this particular thing that you cannot leave out. So when the computer breaks down, there is a 75% chance that it is due to what? Overload. And a 15% chance that it's due to what? Software problem. Let O be overload and S be software. There's an 85% chance that it's due to an overload or, this is another keyword, or, this union. What is the probability that the breakdown is due to software only? Only due to software. That means one S only. S only. For you to find S only, first of all, need S intersection O. So let's look at this. So probability of S only is equal to probability of S minus probability of S intersection O. So be very careful. Many students do not pass this question. Many failed it. So equally, we have to first find probability of S intersection O. So we are going to apply the formula. And now let's look at it on the diagram. This is overload and this is software. Okay, overload and software. Now this is S only. For you to have S only should be probability of S minus probability of S intersection O. So now it is clear, because I have to explain this over and over to many students before they could understand. That's why I had to put this diagram here for them to see by themselves. So the probability that it is due to, the probability of S intersection O will be equal to, like we saw previously, probability of S plus probability of O minus probability of S union O. So this is going to give us 0.75 plus 0.15 minus 0.85. Note that 75% is 0.75. So this gives us probability of S intersection O to be 0.05. But we know that the probability of S is equal to 0.15 or 15%. So what will be the probability of S only? S only will be equal to probability of S minus probability of S intersection O. So that's going to be 15% minus 5%, or 0.15 minus 0.05. And what does that give us? That gives us 0.1. So the key is C. Many students either had or did not see this their answer here, or they just took 0.15, which is bad. It's bad, very bad. Question 9. A batch of 25 injection molded parts contains 5. A batch of 25 contains 5 that have suffered excessive shrinkage, like bad. 2 parts are selected at random without replacement. And draw a tree diagram. The probability that the second part selected is one with excessive shrinkage is. So the focus here is on the second part. But this is affected also by the first selection. Many students just forget about the first selection, forgetting to know that the first selection is still going to affect the second selection, and they fail. Irrespective of the fact that the question talks about the second part selected is with excessive shrinkage, does not mean that you don't need the probability of the first part. That's wrong. Even from the tree diagram, we will prove you wrong. So the probability that the second is with shrinkage means the first has shrinkage and the second also has shrinkage, or the first does not have shrinkage and the second has shrinkage. The most important thing is that the second has shrinkage. But if the second has shrinkage, it is possibly due to either the first has shrinkage and the second has shrinkage, or the first does not have shrinkage and the second has shrinkage. So now there is an or in this question also. Let me explain also using tree diagram, okay? So probability of the second having shrinkage is equal to probability that the first has shrinkage and the second also has shrinkage, or what happens? Or the first does not have shrinkage and the second has shrinkage. So with a tree diagram, this can be explained as follows. This is the tree. Probability of shrinkage, because there are 5 on 25. Probability of no shrinkage, how many? 20 on 25. Now, if the first part selected has shrinkage, this is without replacement. How many will be left in the second selection? 24. So if the first has shrinkage, how many shrinkage parts are left? 4. 4 now out of how many? 4 out of 24. And how many parts without shrinkage are there? There are still 20. So always know that the sum of these two probabilities must always give us 1. Now, if the first part selected did not have shrinkage, how many are left in the second selection? 24. So what's the probability that in the second draw we have a shrinkage? We have not yet touched any part of the shrinkage, so 5 are still there out of 24. Then if the first part has shrinkage, how many parts are there left with shrinkage? 19. 19 now out of how many? Out of 24. So from this tree diagram now, what's the probability that the second part has shrinkage? As you can see here, there are two possibilities. Either the first has shrinkage and the second has shrinkage, this line, or the first has shrinkage and the second does not have shrinkage. Now we compute the all probabilities. So either PSS or PS prime S. So this will be equal to 5 on 25 times 4 on 24 plus 20 on 25 times 5 on 24. And this is going to give us, when you simplify, it gives us 120 on 600, which is equal to 1 on 5. Okay, so our key here is A. According to a criminal procedure approach, you could just say 5 divided by 25. But with time, when you answer many questions with time, you see some of the questions you can already know the answer. Now, question 10. A computer center has 3 printers A, B, and C, which print at different speeds. Programs are routed to the first available printer. The probability that a printer is routed to printers A, B, and C are 0.6, 0.3, and 0.1 respectively. Occasionally, a printer will jam and destroy a printout. The probability that the printers A, B, and C will jam are 0.01, 0.05, and 0.04 respectively. Your program is destroyed when a printer jams. What is the probability that the printer A is involved? It is this last sentence that confuse all the students. The probability that printer A is involved just means probability of A given jam, given that there is a jam. Probability that printer B is involved, just the probability of B given that there is a jam. The same with C. Now let's see how we can do this. So first we need to get the probability of a jam. Probability of a jam means the probability that A jams or B jams or C jams. So how do we get this? Probability of a jam will be given by probability that A jams given by probability of A times the probability of the jam with respect to A, or probability of B times probability of B jamming, or probability of C times probability of C jamming. This will be the probability that there is a jam. Okay, so we get this from all the different printers. So probability of a jam will be 0.6 times 0.01 plus 0.3 times 0.05 plus 0.1 times 0.04. And when we simplify, this is going to give us 0.025. So if they just ask what's the probability that a printer jams, this will be the answer. But there's no one to say N here. This probability that there is a jam. But what's the probability now that A is involved? So the probability that A is involved is given by probability of A given that there is a jam. And this will be equal to probability of A intersection probability of jam. These are independent events, okay? Divided by probability of jam. So probability of A times probability that A jams divided by probability of jam. So it's just this first part here divided by this total answer. So this will be equal to 0.6 times 0.01, which is 0.06, divided by 0.025. Okay, and what does this give us? This gives us 0.24. So the answer here is B. Many students do not even smell this answer. They do not even think in this direction, not to talk of seeing the answer. Alright guys, we'll be presenting a few adverts to you immediately after this slide. So the first one is, if you are preparing for the GCE from this year 2023 to write in 2024, you can join our online platform that is like a GCE school just for students who want to write the GCE. For students who are in Form 3, Form 4, or Form 5, you are allowed to join. I'm talking about Form 3, Form 4 because you are already preparing for the GCE. It's going to pray you how questions are answered in the GCE, how you should write, how you should prepare, and everything. That will drill you on how to answer questions. Many students fail the GCE because they don't know how to answer the questions. They have the mastery. Sorry, they have the content, they have the mastery, but they don't know how to present. They don't know how to write it out. They have it, but they cannot give it. So in this platform, we are not only preparing for the GCE, we are actually drilling you. And it is a student-centered approach with an exam-oriented objective. So we are focused on exams. Focused on exams. So in this platform, we shall be answering questions from like 2010 to 2023. This GCE they are writing now. So we're praying for next year. In this platform equally, we'll be giving you short lessons on each chapter before we go to the question answering sessions. You'll be studying online the same as you are in the house. The platform does not consume a lot of data, so you're not going to be crying that my data, my data, my data. If you have 100 francs data, you can be able to sustain you for one class. So, but if you have a Wi-Fi in the house, then it's best for you. You can equally activate for the day and everything will be okay. For most of you who don't have time because you are trying to catch up with job and so on, but you really want to write the O level or A level again, in this our platform, you can prepare without seeing our faces or us seeing your faces. But if you want to see, if you want to show your face, there is no problem. You can always put on your camera. Okay? You can see the chat can see you. But if you don't want to, people have their rights. In this platform, you are the one to decide. So you attend class normally, and there are few people in class who have enough time to ask your questions. Our classes are short and structured. Those of you who work and close in the evening by 4 and so on, you will still have enough time. Those of you close even by 6, you still have enough time. So it's just a matter of registration, and you see how we prepare. We are going to give you orientation on how to prepare for the exams, how to schedule your program, how to answer questions. We'll give you notes and everything. We equally have manuals to pass questions and answers, which can help you to prepare. Inside our platforms too, don't bother so much about where do I get the past questions and so on. The past questions are already there in the platform. All you need is to get them. Okay? And it is very economical. You will not cry that no, it is too expensive and so on. Just a small amount of money, and you say you're going to run your program in 6 to 9 months. Normally the program is 9 months, but you want to go faster, you can crash it in 6 months. But know that you're crashing it in 6 months, you will need additional time to focus and extra pay. So this is the only disadvantage maybe for 6 months. But if you are very fast, then you have no problem. We equally give you orientation on universities, not just in Cameroon but abroad. Those of you who like to prepare also for HND and all of that, the advantages of HND and many other things. We equally give you ideas on marketing and so on. This time we are going to pray on ordinary level and advanced level courses. We take students not only in Cameroon but outside Cameroon, but we are focused on the Cameroon exam. There are many other countries that use the Cameroon settings in their exams. So whatever, the content is the same. Any country that is using the British system is actually the same. Okay? So this program is suitable for students. It is online. We prepare you with short lessons and questions and answers. You yourself, you are brainstorming. We give you a mock every month to prepare you, which is compulsory for all the students because you need to know how far you are going. It is suitable for students and workers. If you are schooling and you are not strong, you can equally join here to go ahead. This is separate from our WhatsApp groups online where students come and negotiate, discuss, and so on. So with these platforms, it further reinforces you so you can prepare with your flying colors in your A grade. Contact the number on screen or get to us directly from the blog where we can give you more highlights about this program. And I bet you will surely come back to thank us after the GC. Now, question 11. Given that x plus 2 is a factor of the polynomial f of x equals x cubed minus 2x squared plus kx plus 2, the value of k is... So here we are applying factor theorem, okay? You are applying the factor theorem because you have been told that x plus 2 is a factor, okay? So you must solve using the factor theorem. So if, according to the factor theorem, if ax plus b is a factor, then x equals negative b on a is a root. And since x equals negative b on a is a root, f of that root, f of negative b on a should be equal to 0. That's the factor theorem. Okay? So first here, we will equate x plus 2 to 0 and solve for x, or x will be equal to negative 2. Now f of negative 2 should give us 0. So what does it imply? We are going to substitute here. We will have negative 2 to the power 3 minus 2 into negative 2 to the power 2 plus k into negative 2 plus 2. This should be equal to 0. Okay. So from here, negative 2 to the power 3 is negative 8. Negative 2 times negative 2 squared, that is negative 2 times negative 2 times negative, which is negative 8 still. K times negative 2 is negative 2k, then plus 2, that's equal to 0. So from here we have 2k's to be equal to negative 14, and therefore k equals negative 7. So our key here is D. So this one is simple. I found out that most of the students end up instead failing the simple questions and they pass the difficult ones. I said this is madness. They're not serious. They're not serious. Don't leave any stone unturned while preparing for the exam. Follow our course equally on C plus, that's C and C++. You equally have tutorials on those which can help you who are writing advanced level as well as those who are doing HND and many other programs. Equally, if you are in Yaoundé here and you are looking for a place where you want to do software engineering internship, practicals, you want to do paid internship, whatever, or you are looking for a place where you can do formation, you can form yourself in programming, web development, and computer science networking, the ideal place is Artec Center. And where is Artec Center located? Artec Center is located at Centro Danzicape. They just call it Centro at the Tukebe. Okay? It's not far away from Amezam, and from the lycée de Tukebe is not far from there. So that's Centro, that Carrefour there where they have that church, that hospital, that school, whatever. There, just go down to that small market. They call it Petit Marché de Centro. Artec Center is found there. Just get down to the market. So it's in a strategic location where they will take care of you, they will respect you, they will welcome, and they will teach you. You have seasoned lecturers who are going to give exactly just what you want. Are you interested in general documentation? It is still the same place where you'll be formed. Are you interested in hosting your university? Some of your students for internship during the holiday, this is the best place. Many schools around and universities will come in to host their students there for internship and for different practical work. So if you can get to this Artec Center, just tell them that you were sent by this panel and they're going to give you whatever discount. If they fail to give the discount, contact us and we will force them to give it because they asked us to talk about it. We have sent many of our students there and they have come back to give us testimonies. We ourselves have gone there and seen for ourselves. So this is the ideal place. You will be taught in the language of your choice. It's English. It is English. Those of you are coming in French, you have a separate partition there for you who are in French, so that you will not be disturbed by the l'anglais là que tu parles là comme ça je ne comprends pas. Or if you're coming in English, you will not be having problem that they are talking but in French and not understanding. So once you come there, tell us or you tell them your language of preference and they will follow that. Please, if you have any issues at these centers, get back to us so that we know that these are the difficulties you have and we see how we can address them. Okay? So thank you so much. We'll talk again about what? Artec Center. And the link below this video, you can get their contacts, their emails, and whatever. You can contact them. If you are interested in universities in Yaoundé where you would like to study and so on, and you have issues, you can talk to us directly, or you can look at the links below, and you will see the contacts of these different universities and these private universities we are talking about, where you can conveniently study in your English, clear English, where you don't have any headache of any basic income with another language to come and scatter your head. Or you want to study in French, we can equally guide you on where you can go to. Okay? Now, don't pay any money to anybody online. We give you the directions here, but you must, any money you have to pay, you must pay at those places. The only thing you can pay for online is only the GCE panel portal that they prepare you for 9 months. And you only pay once you have registered and started the classes. Don't pay to another person. You must pass through the platform. They tell you how and where to pay before you pay. If they say you have to go to a particular bank or whatever, you pay. But you must make sure that we are the ones, okay? So you can even make sure that you come to class or you have a video or whatever before you do your payments. But if these other places I'm talking about, the payment is done at those places themselves. You must go to those centers to do your payments. You can register online, yes, but don't give any money online. You can register online, no problem. You can book a place online, no problem. You can book a place for online, any of them, but the payments, make sure you go to the places. Apart from this one, you're paying for GC in 6 to 9 months that you can pay online. And you must make sure that we are the ones. All right, question 12. The coefficient of the term x squared in the Maclaurin expansion of ln 1 minus 2x is. Now, don't forget that we have many video lessons like this online in this same channel you are watching, in mathematics and so on. You can go through those lessons. Most of those lessons and the notes are there. You don't have to stress for yourself or kill yourself, okay? So the coefficient of the term in x squared in the Maclaurin expansion of ln 1 minus 2x is. If you have a formula booklet, you can just quote the expansion directly, or you can go through first principle, okay? So the expansion is about x equals 0. Whenever the expansion is about x equals 0, we talk about Maclaurin. So the Maclaurin is a special case of the Taylor expansion where we are talking about x equals 0. If the number is not equal to 0, we talk about the Taylor series. So Maclaurin is a special case of the Taylor series where you are expanding about x equals 0. So first of all, here I'll first look at for f of x is equal to ln 1 minus 2x. What will be f of 0? So f of 0 will be equal to ln 2 times 0 is 0, 1 minus 0 is 1, ln 1 is 0. So f of 0 is 0. Now look for f prime of x. F prime of x, to differentiate the linear function, is just derivative of the core divided by the core. So derivative of 1 minus 2x is minus 2 divided by 1 minus 2x. Now what will be f prime of 0? We now look for f prime of 0. F prime of 0 will be negative 2. When you substitute 0, you are going to have negative 2. So this is just for x now. F prime is for x. We have to go on to where we get f prime prime. Now, for f prime prime of x, we differentiate this one again. We are going to now use what you call the quotient rule. Bottom constant to differentiate the top, that's going to give us 0, minus the top constant, minus 2. Sometimes forget that there's a negative sign here. So minus the top now, the top is negative 2. Differentiate the bottom, you have negative 2. All that on the bottom squared, okay? So this is going to give us, and that is plus, negative 4 on all of that. So f prime prime of 0 becomes negative 4. Now, what is the Taylor's Maclaurin's expansion? Is f of 0 plus x f prime of 0, all that on 1 factorial, plus x squared f prime prime of 0, all that on what? All that on 2 factorial. So we already have our x squared, right? And we already have our f prime prime of 0, plus that. So our f of x will be equal to 0 because f of 0 is 0, plus x into f prime is negative 2 on 1 factorial, which is 1, plus x squared into negative 4, all that on 2 factorial, which is 2. So we have negative 4 on 2, which is equal to negative 2. So this is the term we're talking about, right? So what's the coefficient of x squared here? Coefficient is negative 4 on 2, which is equal to what? Which is equal to negative 2. So, or you can use the standard expansion as we said before. Our key here is that. So the standard expansion of 1 plus ln x, we have x minus a half x squared plus 1 over 3x cubed and so on. This is standard expansion for 1 plus ln x. Okay? Now they have replaced x by what? They have replaced x by negative 2x. So we can do the same in this expansion. I'm also going to replace it by negative 2x. So this will give us negative a half, okay, into negative 2x squared. Just this term in x squared. We have negatives and negative a half here. This is it. Then we replace x by what? Negative 2x. So into negative 2x squared. We simplify. We are going to have negative 2x squared. Can you now study the coefficient of x squared? The same thing. So this procedure is shorter. That means if you know the expansion, you have your formula booklet that you can see here. Some of you don't know. Make sure you know what's in the formula booklet if you go for exam. Know it page by page. It's not during the exam that you go and start checking. During the exam, you just be wasting your time in the formula booklet if you have not been using it. So if you used to use the formula booklet in the exam, you are supposed to be using it from now. So don't wait till the exam. Now, question 13. The limit of 2x, the root of 2x squared plus 1, all that on 3x minus 5 is. So as x tends to infinity, we are just focused on the most important terms. So in this square root, the most important term here is 2x squared. Okay? So as x tends to infinity, the most important term there is 2x squared. Then the denominator, the most important term is 3x. All that on 3x as x tends to infinity. Okay? Now, since as x tends to infinity, the root of this numerator is x root 2, because the root of 2 is root 2. The root of x squared is x. So we have x root 2 on 3x. Okay? X root 2 on 3x. As x tends to infinity, this x will cancel out with this one. As x tends to infinity, we'll just be left with root 2 on 3. So our key here is B. Please don't forget to subscribe and share our videos. We appreciate if you can share this video on Facebook especially. Share equally on different platforms, TikTok and wherever you find yourselves. Please share on WhatsApp groups where students have and need this knowledge, so that can actually help them to prepare their exams and know more about us. That equally help us to prepare more videos for them. Find the integral from 0 to 2 of x on 4 plus x squared dx. So with this one, the first thing we'll do is that we will let, okay, first thing we have to do is we have to let our u to be equal to this. Because if we differentiate this core here, we're going to have the numerator, okay? or maybe we do some sort of adjustment. So if u is equal to 4 plus x squared, then it implies that du will be equal to 2x dx. From here, a half du will be equal to x dx. So you can replace this x dx by a half du. Okay, and of course this 4 plus x squared root is going to just be equal to root u. So at this point we can bring this a half outside. So a half du, bring the half outside the integral sign, all that on root u. This can be written as a half into the integral of u to the power negative a half du, which will be equal to now a half into, when you integrate negative a half, what do you have? U to the power negative a half, you're going to have u to the power negative a half plus 1, which is going to be u to the power a half. All that on what? On a half. But anything divided by half means 2 times that thing. So you have 2 root u. This will be equal to, this half, this 2 will cancel out these 2 outside. You just be left with 4 plus x squared from 0 to 2. Okay? From 0 to 2. When we take the limits now, I have root 8 minus root 4. When we simplify, you have 2 root 2 minus 2. Our key here is B. Hello guys, if you need a tutor to prepare for the upcoming HND, please you can contact us. Of course, we are going to do payments because we are not tutoring for free, except you are joining our WhatsApp groups where you can prepare for your HND in particular subjects. Our WhatsApp groups will be for free, but our special tutoring courses are not for free because anything that's for free, people don't take it serious. So you have to give a token for that preparation, and you join other students from different universities in preparation for your HND exams. For those of you doing digital marketing and so on, you can equally contact us your digital marketing courses and software engineering courses, where you can have classes online if you want. For face-to-face classes, you can equally contact us, but you need to know your location. When you get to your location, you need to know the distance that the transport you're going to incur before you know if you accept or reject. But for online classes, you know, don't have issues because distance is not a barrier. Now, question 15 reads, let f be such that the real set of real numbers mapped onto the set of real numbers, which implies f of x equal to 1 minus 2x, that's the root of 1 minus 2x. What will be the domain of this function? Now, note that this function is a polynomial, but being a polynomial, a linear function, whatever, of degree 1, but it's inside a root. The condition for the domain of definition for a root is that the core, what is inside that root, should be greater than or equal to 0. Since there's no denominator here, should be greater than or equal to 0. So you're just going to solve the inequality. 1 minus 2x is greater than or equal to 0. Okay? So this is a radical function. So the domain of this function implies 1 minus 2x should be greater than or equal to 0. From here, negative 2x should be greater than or equal to negative 1. We now divide both sides by negative 2. But note, whenever you divide both sides of an inequality by a negative constant, you must reverse the inequality sign. So dividing both sides by negative 2 will now be negative 2x divided by negative 2. It's no more greater than or equal to, it's now less than or equal to, look at this, less than or equal to negative 1 or negative 2. Or you can run away from this negative sign by carrying this one to the right hand side. So when you simplify, you have your x should be less than or equal to a half. So many students are going to take their B here, and of course they will see Pepe. Question 16. We know that we are taking so much time on this video, unlike our other videos. Normally, with our normal speed, we would have already finished, but we want to go gradually. Students grab the concepts. They have complained that no, let us take it at normal speed. When they have the accuracy, they will now put the speed by themselves. Let's go gradually and do all the necessary explanations. That's why we are taking our time, so you understand it. They say that we should not bother about data or whatever. It is their concern. If they need it, they'll watch. So we are going gradually. So the solution of the equation 2x minus 3 absolute value equals 3 is. Now we know the absolute value makes any number positive. Okay? So the absolute value means that if this answer is either negative 3 or positive 3, right? Because if this number inside this absolute value sign is negative 3, it will be 3 outside. If it's plus 3, it will still be 3. So therefore means that what you have inside should either be equal to negative 3 or plus 3. That's how we solve this one. Okay? So the absolute value of a number makes it positive. Another way to do it is to square both sides. Okay? But that is going to waste a lot of time because we are going to have a quadratic. So here we have 2x minus 3 should be equal to negative 3, or 2x minus 3 should be equal to plus 3. We now solve both. From here 2x is equal to 0, or here 2x is equal to 6. So this gives us x to be equal to 0 or x equals 3. And you can test here. Use 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 3 is negative 3. Absolute value of negative 3 is plus 3. This is the answer. Try with 6. Okay. Sorry, with this one is supposed to be 3. Sorry, not 6. This one is supposed to be 3, not 6. I think it's supposed to be 3, not 6. So when we now try with 3, 2 times 3 is 6 minus 3, 3. Absolute value of 3 is 3. So our key here is C. There are two answers. Okay, C. Question 17, simplifying sine px on x as x the tends to 0, that's that limit will give us. Now we know that for small angles, sine ax or sine x on x as x tends to 0 is equal to 1. So sine px on px as x tends to 0 should be equal to 1. So we are going to do some adjustments to make sure that we come out the answer. So why students already see that the answer is p. But now let's see how we get it. So for small angles, sine p, note that sine for small angles, the limit of as x tends to 0 of sine what? Sine px on what? Px is equal to 1. So from here we can multiply both sides by p now and see what happens. So from here this means that cross multiplying we have the limit as x tends to 0 of sine px on x should be equal to p. We have just multiplied both sides by this p. We have not solved anything. You just have to use your head. So this is what we have. Okay, so our answer is equal to p. 18. Given that y is equal to than 2x, then divide the x equal to. So when you differentiate than 2x, what do you have? Just like trigonometry. When you differentiate than x, you have sec squared x. So for us to get the derivative of than x, first of all, we're going to differentiate the core. When you differentiate this core, we'll have 2, and we differentiate than 2x, we're going to have sec squared 2x. So no stress to this one, direct straight to the point. Okay, so differentiating is going to give us 2 sec squared 2x. So we have 2 when you differentiate this core. Okay, then now times the derivative now of than 2x is sec squared 2x. So I think we have the answer here, which is the key here, which is B. Okay. Now question number 19. The probability distribution table for a discrete random variable x is given below. The mean is. So another name for mean is expectation. Okay, U. So how do we get the expectation of a discrete random variable? The expectation with DRV is summation xi times their respective probabilities. So this one times is probability plus this times probability plus this times probability is going to give us the expectation. So expectation of x will be equal to 1 times a half plus 2 times 1 over 3 plus 3 times 1 over 6. And when we simplify all of this, we are going to have the expectation to be equal to 10 on 6, which is equal to 5 on what? 5 on 3. So expectation is 5 on 3, and our key here is B. That's it for question 19. So now question 20. The probability density function of a continuous random variable x is given by kx into 2 minus x for 0 less than 2 and 0 elsewhere. Find the value of k. So for the probability density function, the integral equals 1 from the lower limit to the upper limit. So it's from negative infinity to positive infinity. The integral will be equal to 1. So since it's 0 elsewhere, it means when we integrate from 0 to 2, the probability will be equal to what? 1. That's the idea we'll be using here. So from here we have the integral. We can bring this k outside since it's a constant of 2x. We can expand 2x minus x squared dx from 0 to 2 dx. This will be equal to 1. That's a probability density function. So this total probability should be equal to 1. From here we have k into all of this, x squared minus x cubed on 3. Okay, from what? 0 to 2 is equal to 1. So when we simplify this, we are going to have 4 minus 8 on 3 minus 0, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 4 on 3. Okay, so this gives us k into all of this is 4 on 3, and okay, I think we have an issue here. All right, let me just adjust it. So here we have a k times 4 on 3 is equal to 1, right? Because I left out this k here. So k into all of this is equal to 1. And from here, k will be equal to what value? K will be equal to 3 on 4. So from here, k is equal to 3 on 4. Please take note of this. K is equal to 3 on 4. Take note. Not 4 on 3, but 3 on 4. So the key here is A. I think I left out this one. All right, thank you so much. Now, the next question. Hello guys, now I'm talking about ISPA. ISPA is one of the higher institutes here in Yaoundé. ISPA stands for Institut Supérieur Polytechnique Les Amandins. So it is a private university, a private polytechnic, just like Polytechnique Bamenda and other polytechnics in Boya and so on. It's a private university which is affiliated to 3 universities. University of Boya, University of Gaoundéré, and University of Chang. This single university is affiliated to 3 universities. So this is a private university where you can do your HND, your bachelor degree, as well as your master's. You can do it in the language of your choice. So if you're an Anglophone, you will be taught by strictly Anglophone lecturers. You're not going to be stressing that they're teaching in French and that. No. So it is English. If you're a Francophone, you're going to be taught in French. In this institute, the Francophones and the Anglophones have nothing in common except they have a joint meeting, which is for instructors. Okay? So you as students, you are going to, if the instructor who comes not an English instructor, you're an English student, you can always complain that no, I have issue with this. Because the school is focused on students, not on teachers. It is focused on your understanding and to take care of your needs and your problems. So equally, they have branches as of now at A2D as well. A2D, one at Nkom Nkana at Singa, okay? Komkana in Chinga, and they equally have another branch. They have 2 branches here at Komkana, okay? So it doesn't matter where you are in town. This school is centrally located. You will have powerful and seasoned instructors and lecturers from the universities who will be working with you. To do your bachelor, your HND, or your master's program here is an ABC thing. So we advise you that you can here. Now you can see where the school is situated. The common name for the school is Les Amandins. It equally has a primary school and secondary school and high school and so on, where we have many different things. You can equally check online about this school and have more information. You can register now for this institute online. You can look at the link below this video. You see their registration procedures. Registration here does not mean you have to pay any money. Don't pay a kobo anywhere. You register online, you have your number. Now when you come to school, the only thing you do in school now is to pay. You must come to this school to pay. Either you come to the school here to pay, or you go to their branch at Etudi, at Mesasi, where you can pay, or you actually contact the administrator based on the school contact that is there. Do not pay anything to anybody. Even the person says that I'm the administrator of the school and says that you pay online, don't. Refuse. Come to the campus itself and do your payment. Make sure you see the campus that you are sure of what you are talking about. For your registration online, you don't pay a kobo, not even 25 francs. It is free registration. When you now come now, you can now use that number that's been given to you to pay. Okay? So with this now, I think you don't have a problem. If you have any other questions about the school, you can contact us. Don't pay any money to us that we are talking to you. Don't pay kobo. We can only give you advice about the school and how to go about it. For those who are doing engineering, there are so many specialties. All the management sciences, financial management, banking and finance, computer, home economics, software engineering, industrial engineering, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, electrical engineering, mechatronics, all the different specialties. You look at the next subsequent video I'm going to make. You will see about all their departments and everything about the school being a subsequent video. But here you're focused to answer some questions about the school and so on. You can leave your questions below or contact us from the numbers below where you have whatever. If you have issues and you get to the school, you can equally pay your school fees in different installments. If you have any issues or you are being disturbed in the school, you can contact us. because we are like the spokespersons of the school. If there's any problem, contact, and we will see how we can talk to the administrators that this is a problem that we are having. These students came because we told them about you, they've come and they have this problem, so you must solve this problem. And as I've told you, they are going to respond to their needs. Okay, so make sure you talk to us in case you have any issue, and it will be handled. If it is not handled, get to us again. So we don't joke about the students here. You find yourself here, you know that you are in the right place. Now, for those of you equally, another advert, for those who want to prepare for the GCE in 6 months to 9 months, in short, to prepare for the GCE in 9 months, there is good news for you now, especially those of you who are workers or students who need to be having reinforced classes or catch up and preparatory or tutorial classes online. This portal or online system is the first of its kind in the country, where it is focused on what? It is like a school, but it is focused on preparing you only for the GCE. So they take from 5 students and upper 6 students. This is the GCE panel portal itself. It is preparing you. You are studying like you are studying in university, or you are studying from home, but you are actually in class. Where you can see the teacher can see you, you can write on the board, you can do whatever you can do, but you are doing it from home. Okay? So with this platform, how does it function? You have to indicate that you would like to be, you are preparing for the GCE and you want to sign up for the 9 months preparation, which is focus on exam, answering questions, giving you short notes, lessons, and all of that, and writing mocks every month. All these evaluations are being done to prepare for the exam, because many students fail not because they don't know, they know but they don't know how to write this exam. This platform is focused on all of that. You can give you an orientation about other platforms, other schools online. We work with students not only in Cameroon, but with those outside Cameroon. But we are focused on the British curriculum, which has been implemented and is being used in the country. So this is the ideal place for you, going in for advanced level or O level. Those of you who don't have time to study, even in the evening, this platform, you can even study from the comfort of your home at night. Those of you who can only take your courses during the weekend session will equally be is also available for you, where you can study at your convenience. Some people may not be comfortable to go to school because they think about their age and all of that. If you are a worker, my brother, my sister, then you can sign up for private classes. But why even go for private classes when you can equally study and decide to nobody see your face? Nobody knows your face or your name. In the system, we only identify you by the student number or student ID we are going to give you. So everything you do is student ID. If you have to publish results, we publish only the student ID. In that case, nobody knows who you are, where you come from, and so on. And it's only during registration where you have to go and do a registration where you have chosen the closest place to you. And we will give you guidelines on the places which are close to you, where you can do your GCE registration, which is even being done online as of now. Okay, so you don't have any big problem with GCE and all of that. If you are praying for O level, we are even in Form 4, but you want to start preparing now, you are welcome. This is the perfect place for you. You are in lower seat, you don't want the stress of upper seat next year, this is the right place for you. As of this 2023, registration begins this August. Make sure you contact us, be the first to register, and benefit from our 40% discount which we are giving to students. Some of you have already used the platform. Please tell others about what you have enjoyed. Tell them, let them know, because they should not be coming thinking that they are the first. They are not the first. It has been there. You have been working on it, testing it the past 2 years, but now we are going full-fledged. It is not a school, it's a preparation center for GCE. You have watched our videos, you know who we are, we know what you can offer. Most of the instructors work with us and you know them. So you can pass through them and get to us. In case of anything, you can always attend to your needs. Welcome to the GCE panel. Welcome to the future of Cameroon and the world online. Stay tuned. Watch this video to the end. There's a video that we are going to prepare after this video, which gives the details, step-by-step, systematic approach about the platform, creation, and everything. There was one that came out before when we were still building the platform. You can still go through that one because we are going to upgrade it, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Equally, and in the last place, before we look at question 21, if you are here in Yaoundé and you are interested in a center that you can do your software engineering, you can do your computer basics, say you are no more a computer illiterate, you want to do it personally or you want to do it online, whatever, come to AdTech Center. What do we offer at AdTech Center? We offer software engineering courses, web programming, web building, web design. We do courses in digital marketing and many other courses in engineering. Are you a child? Are you an adult? Are you a parent? It is the same place for you because we offer courses at different levels. We start teaching children about web development, even if you are in primary 3. You start taking from those levels because we start teaching them computer basics and we now go to web development. If you look at the children in China and many other countries, This as multi that they are teaching them. We are equally bringing the same system to Cameroon, and you can only find this at AdTech Center. Where is it located? At Etukebe Centre d'Handicapé, that petit machine that is there. Go inside the market, and at that junction inside the market, that small place that I ran about, you just move a few meters to your right, you will find yourself at AdTech Center. It's a very common and popular place where they equally do documentation services. You interested in general documentation, come to AdTech Center and you know that you are at the right place. There is a video after this one. If you're going to see more about AdTech Center, please look at it. The center also hosts universities. It hosts students who come to do their internship. It hosts students who have to do their practicals for GC and so on, and they come and do it here. This is the ideal place. Ask your friends if you don't believe. Come to the place and see for yourself before you register, and you will be surprised that you will be exceeded in your expectations. Come to the center and see for yourself. Come and register there. Contact these numbers below, and you can get to the school too as well directly. In case of anything, you can always ask us, and we'll give you more details. If you are bothered, you can ask the questions. If you come study English, you will be talking about people speak only English. Oh, they have nothing to do with French. If you are going to study in French, you have nothing to do with those who are speaking English, except you want to study in both languages. At that time now, you have to be jumping from one class to another because you want to study both languages. But we are doing our programs separately in French, separately in English, no mixture, no mélanger. Thank you. Welcome to AdTech Center, the future of technology. Question 21. Two independent random variables x and y are such that the expectation of x equals 3 and the expectation of y equals 4. What will be the expectation of 3x minus 2y? So here we just have to substitute the expectations and simplify like you have already seen before. Know that the expectation of ax plus by is equal to a times the expectation of x plus b times the expectation of y. So expectation of 3x minus 2y will be equal to 3 times the expectation of x, okay, minus 2 times the expectation of y, okay. So this will be equal to 3 into expectation of x is what, 3 minus 2 into the expectation of y, which is 4. So that's going to give us 1. Guys, make sure you subscribe to this video and you leave your comments. Make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much. So, dear students, dear viewers, dear fans, we continue with question 22. Teams A has a probability 2 on 3 of winning a game whenever it plays. If A plays 4 games, the probability that it wins exactly 2 games is. So when we look at this data here, we see that this is going to be a binomial, okay? So the probability of success and the number of events has been given, so this implies a binomial. Thus, we are going to use the binomial distribution. X follow a binomial with parameters n and p. So the probability now that it wins exactly 2 games is, so we are going to use the formula for this one as well. So the probability of x equals 2 will be equal to probability of x equals 1 plus probability of x equals 2. Or the better way to do it is to use the combination. Selection of 2 items from 4 times the probability of success to the power 2, the probability of failure to the power n minus 2, or n here is 4 because there are 4 games, okay? So you have n combination r, p to the power r, q to the power n minus r. That's what we are applying here from the formula that you already know. So 4 combination 2 is the same as 4 factorial on 2 factorial 2 factorial times 4 over 9 times 1 over 9. So when we simplify this, it will give us 24 over 81, which is equal to 8 on 27. So this is the probability that they win exactly 2 games. Now question 23. Suppose that 2% of the items made by a factory are defective. The probability P that there are 3 defective items in a sample of 100 items is. If you look at this one too, it's equally a binomial. Suppose two items in the factory are defective, okay? So you can model this using a binomial. Probability that there are 3 defective items. So here, our probability of selecting a defective item is 2%, okay? And we're talking about how many items here? 100 items. So if we use a binomial with parameters 100 and 0.02. So to select 3 defective items, you're going to have 100 combination 3, 2% to the power 3, and 0.98 or 98% to the power 97, using that same formula that we previously used. So you're going to have 100 combination 3, okay, times 0.2 or 2% to the power 3, that's our p to the power r, times 98, that's 1 minus 2%, 98% to the power 97, that's 100 minus 3, which is 97. So it's implied to your calculator, so you are going to have 0.1823, okay, which is just equal to our A there, which is 0.18. So that's the probability. If you model using another thing, you might not see the answer. So you consider this actually a binomial. A continuous random variable, question 24, x has probability density function, that's PDF, k for 0 to 2, k into 2x minus 3 for 2 to 3, and 0 elsewhere. Find the value of k. We have seen a similar question like this before. So for a cumulative continuous random variable, for a continuous random variable, total probability is also equal to 1. So we are going to use this to find the value of k. The integral from 0 to 2 of k of this first part, plus the integral from 2 to 3 of this second part, plus the integral from 3 to any other number for this last part, but this part is 0, so we're just going to leave it out, okay? Since it's 0, the integral will also will not give us anything substantial. So this will give us a kx from 0 to 2 plus, we're integrating, so we're going to have kx squared minus 3kx from 2 to 3, and all of this should be equal to 1. When we take the upper limits and lower limits, we are going to have 2k plus 2k to be equal to 1, and our k is equal to 1 on 4, okay? So this gives us k to be equal to 1 on 4. Our key here is A. So take note of this question. Most of these HND questions repeat year after year. They only change the value, so take note of that. Question 25. Given that the function f on the set of real numbers, r is mapped onto r, is monotonously increasing, and that the integral from 2 to 15 of f of x dx is 27, and the integral from 2 to 9 of f of x dx is equal to 19, then find the integral from 9 to 15 of f of x dx. So this one this one is just simple algebra now. So the sum of all integrals equals the grand integral here, okay? So what I'm going to say is the integral from 2 to 15, okay, should be equal to the integral from 2 to 9 plus the integral from 9 to 15. So the integral from 2 to 9 of f of x dx plus 9 to 15 of f of x dx will be equal to integral from 2 to 15 of f of x dx. Now we already have these values, right? The integral from 2 to 9 is 19, plus the integral of from 9 to 15 of f of x dx, that's what you're looking for, is equal to the integral from 2 to 15, which is 27. So therefore this integral will just be equal to 27 minus 19, which is equal to 8. Okay? Question 26. Let f and g be the functions from the set of integers to itself, defined by f of x equals 2x plus 1 and g of x equals 3x plus 4. The composite function f of g of x is, so we are just going to substitute g in f, that's f of g of x, substitute g in f. Okay? So this composite function will be given by f of g of x, so wherever we see x in f of x, we're going to replace it by g of x. So we're going to have 2 g of x here plus 1. So this will be equal to f of 3x plus 4, because our g of x is 3x plus 4, right? So f of x is equal to 2x plus 1. Now what will be f of 3x plus 4? We are going to replace x by 3x plus 4. So that will be 2 into 3x plus 4, then plus this one outside. We now simplify. You have 2 times 3x is 6x plus 8 plus 1, which is 9. So this gives us 6x plus 9. Our key here is A. It is simple, but if you don't solve, you will not have the skills. Okay? Question 27, given that ln x minus 6 on ln x plus 1 equals 0, and then the value of x are. So this is going to give us a quadratic equation. We first of all start by letting our ln x to be equal to t, and then we can solve as follows. So we have ln x minus 6, that is when you multiply all through by ln x, you're going to have ln x squared minus 6 plus ln x equals 0 times ln x is 0. So this gives us a quadratic. We let our ln x squared to be equal to t. Okay, first of all, arrange it in this form, and then we let it to be equal to t. Or we can factorize directly. Okay, we will have ln x minus 2 into ln x plus 3 equals 0, and from here ln x will be equal to 2, or ln x will be equal to 3. This bracket that is open here is not supposed to be there. Take note. We now convert from logarithmic form to exponential form. From here, you have x to be equal to e to the power 2. X is e to the power 2. And here, x will be equal to e to the power negative 3. E to the power 2 and e to the power negative 3. So our key here is C. Question 28. So if x is equal to sec t and y is equal to tan t, then what is dy dx? What is dy dx? So we are going to apply like the chain rule here. We know that sec t is the same as 1 over cos t, so we can apply quotient rule to get the x dt. We find dy dt as well, and we apply the rule. So we have, for the x dt, we are going to have the 1 over cos t dt, that is the sec t dt, which is going to be equal to the bottom constant to differentiate the top. Bottom constant differentiate the top 0, so all that gives us 0, minus top constant differentiate bottom, which is negative sin t. All that on the bottom squared, which is cos t, cos t. So I'll just allow it as sin t on cos t, which is the same as sin t, sec t, sec t. Okay, so sec t, sin t. Now let's find dy dt. For dy dt, we have dy dt to be equal to, when you differentiate tan t, normally you have sec squared t. Okay, we are going to have sec t, sec t. I'll leave it as sec t, so that to cancel out to be easy for me. Now, how do we get dy dt? Dy dt here will be equal to dy dt times dt on dx. So to find dy dx, you're going to have dy dt times dt on dx. Or you can just say it's dy dt divided by dx dt. So this will be equal to dy dx, which is sec t, divided by dx dt, which is sec t, sin t. So the secs will cancel out, and you'll just be left with 1 over sin t, which is cosec t. Okay, so our key here is B. Our key here is B. Question 29. Guys, don't forget to subscribe and share these videos. If you really interest you, please subscribe and share, so that you equally be able as a subscriber to watch the next part of the video. Without being a subscriber, the next part you will not be able to see it, or you can see it but you cannot watch it. 29. The integral of 2x on x squared plus 7 to the power 6 dx is. We are going to apply the substitution. We see that if you look at this core, x squared plus 7, if we let it be u and we differentiate it, we can have the numerator. So we are going to use that idea. So if we let u to be equal to x squared plus 7, this will give us, so u equals x squared plus 7. This will imply that the u will be equal to 2x dx. Okay, so the u will be equal to 2x dx. Now we can simply replace our 2x dx here by the u, and this x squared plus 7 to the power 6 by u to the power 6. So this gives us the integral of du on u to the power 6, which can be written as u to the power negative 6 du. Integrating this will give us u to the power negative 5, all that on negative 5, we can be written as negative 1 on 5 u to the power negative 5 plus k prime. Now we are going to do a transformation from this back to what we have in the equation, and our new constant will also change a bit because we have transformed from u back to x. So from k prime now to k, or from k to k prime. So our integral here is going to be equal to, our key here is b. Our key here is b. Question 30. F of xy equals 2x plus y on 1 minus xy. And then the value of f of 1 negative 3 is, in this question, we just have to substitute the values of 1 and negative 3 respectively for x and y to find the value of this multivariate function. So this will give us 2 times 1 plus negative 3, all this on 1 minus 1 into negative 3. Okay, so this is equal to negative 1 on 4. So the key is negative 1 on 4. And now, for those of you who want to prepare for GCE online in 9 months or in 6 months, starting this August 2023 to write in 2024, GCE panel portal is the best place for you. Please contact us if you want to write O-level in 1 year, even if you have not been preparing, or A-level, and we will see how we can prepare you in this short time possible. Our fees is cheap, it's economical. We are not actually a school, but we are a platform that prepares you in this time. We are online tutors. We provide you all the tutorials and the tutoring that you need during this time for your exams. We are working on an exam-oriented approach, and we are focused only on exams. We will give you short lessons before each year. We are going to answer questions of the past 20 to 22 years. This is suitable for students as well as workers. You can study at any time at your convenience, especially those of you who are fighting with work and school at the same time, or those who are at work, you really want to go to school again, but there is no way for you. This portal or this panel gives you an ideal solution. You have working on this the past 6 months, and we have some results. You can talk to students who have already used the portal. We have been testing and working and so on, but we are launching full swing coming this August 2023. Registrations are ongoing. Contact us now. If you know somebody is interested, or you know somebody you think the person should go to school again, this is the right place for that person. Some people don't want to go to school again because they think they are too big and they don't want to sit among children who will be saying rubbish to them. In this our portal, you'll be studying live. You can decide for your face to be shown or for your face not to be shown. In this our system, nobody can ever know your name except you tell somebody, you give somebody your student ID and tell the person what your name is, because you'll be working only with your student ID and your passwords. Everything you have to use is just by that student ID, which is what is going to use in identifying you. So it therefore means you can study at your convenience, nobody will know, and you will have your certificate, your degree in no time. For those of you who are universities and interested in taking online courses to amplify, to fortify what you're already studying, contact us in software engineering, digital marketing, and many other domains. So GCE panel is waiting for you. It's not just the GCE, it's just that you're working with this panel and this domain to provide you whatever. Here we'll provide you the past questions. Don't need to get them. We will be answering questions, teaching you how to answer them, and we will not be shouting at you. Okay? We can only shout at you if you are running away from evaluations and everything. At the end of every month, we are doing mocks to prepare you. You are not too young or too old to be part of this platform. If you are going to lower seat or to Form 5, you are equally welcome. So you prepare enough for these 2 years and you write your exams. Why not? After preparing, you may see that maybe you are comfortable enough to take the exams and you can go ahead. Those of you who don't have time during the week, want to study during the weekend, we have special classes for you for the weekends. Those of you who come to work late, we have your own session. So contact us for more information. There will be a video that will come in after this one to detail you, to give more highlights on this. There are numbers below this video to contact and get more. Please share this video on Facebook, share on TikTok, wherever you can share, WhatsApp groups, so that you can get to many more people, so that they may have this knowledge. The world is going digital, and why not? We want to be the first of its kind to prepare you to write from online. You are safe, we are safe, everything is safe. Don't pay any money for anything yet unless we tell you where and how to pay for anything. Thank you so much, and we are waiting for you coming July 2023. Stay tuned and bye bye. Now, question 31, let f of x, y, and z be equal to that. Find the partial derivative of x with respect to that function. So this is partial derivative of x, okay? So to get this, we are just going to differentiate with respect to x. It means that any other variable that is not in terms of x is a constant, okay? This is a partial derivative. So this is going to be equal to, for the first one to differentiate here, we are going to have, so ln yz here should be a constant because differentiate with respect to x. So when you differentiate x, we are going to have 2x times ln yz, okay? Then for this second one here, y is a constant. So the derivative of cos xy is going to be equal to y times the derivative of cos xy, which is negative sine xy. So we have 2 times negative y, okay, sine xy. So our key here is A. If you need tutors for online preparation for this HND, please contact us. Our tutoring is not for free. So when you're contacting us, you already know about that. Okay, so get an online tutor, online shifu, online master to prep your way through the HND. Don't wait to the end. Our fees at the end, when it's very close to the exam, is always high. So it's better you start preparing in time. 32, let f be the function mapped on from space to the line, this, such that this is what we have. Find grad f. So what is grad f? You are going to differentiate this with respect to x, differentiate with respect to y, and differentiate with respect to z. So we are looking for all the 3 partial derivatives to get the gradient, okay? Grad f. So the first one, differentiate with respect to x, all of this, we are going to have 2x plus 3y. That's just with respect to x. We have 2x plus 3y. You can already see that the answer is either B or D. So we have 2x plus 3y. Then we now differentiate with respect to y. We will have 0 here. We will have 3x plus z cube. 3x plus z cube. 3x plus z cube. We already seen that the answer is B, right? 3x plus z cube. On differentiation now with respect to z, we are going to have just 3yz squared. Okay? 3yz squared. So we can say the answer, the key is equal to B. So that's the gradient. So with the gradient, to find the partial derivatives and put them as other set of points with respect to x, with respect to y, and with respect to z. 33. Given that x squared y plus 5x cubed y to the power 4 is equal to 7, find the y dx. Here, this we are going to apply implicit differentiation. Okay. So we're going to have, for this first function here, we are going to have differentiate with respect to x for this first part. So we keep one of them constant. So we keep x squared constant, differentiate y with respect to x, we are going to have dy dx. Plus, we now keep y constant, differentiate x squared, we are going to have 2x. Then for this second one now, 5x cubed plus y, 5x cubed y to the power 4. So we have plus 5. Plus 5. Then we are going to keep 5x cubed constant, differentiate y to the power 4. That's going to give us 4y cubed dy dx. This is it. We now keep y to the power 4 constant, and we differentiate 5x cubed to the power, with respect to x. We're going to have so we're going to have 3x squared because the 5 is already in front. Okay, so we have 5y to the power 4 as constant, differentiate x cubed, we're going to have 3x squared. This is it. And we differentiate the right hand side, we are going to have 0 since it's a constant. We now bring like terms together. The terms that have the y, the x, bring them together. So we have x squared plus 5x cubed times 4y cubed. That's going to give us 20x cubed y cubed dy dx. Then plus the other terms that are constant, we have 2xy plus 5 times 3, 15x squared y to the power 4. Okay. If we carry all of this to the right hand side, we are going to have negative 2xy plus that. Alright. Now we divide both sides now by the equation of dy dx here, and we're going to have our dy dx to be equal to negative 2xy plus 15x squared y to the power 4, all that on x squared plus 20x cubed y cubed. So our key here is b. Key here is b. So we are taking a lot of time because the student says you should take time and answer it, even if you go above the time. Or normally we would have answered this in 45 minutes. We want to take the times that really give the details of everything. Question 34. The value of x for which 1 over 25 to the power x is equal to 5 to the power 2 into x plus 3 is. We just have to make all of them to have a common base. Okay, and then we equate the powers. So this will give us 5 to the power minus 2x is equal to 5 to the power 2x plus 6. We equate the powers since the bases are now the same. So from here, we have negative 4x to be equal to 6, and x will be equal to negative 3 on 2. The key here is D. Question 35. Let f of x be defined by x cubed plus 5x, and then the function f is. So we want to check if this function is periodic, even, odd, or parity. This last one does not exist. This is madness. So you cannot talk about parity. So it's either periodic, even, or odd. But from what you can see here, you cannot see any period. So if the function is not periodic, the only thing you can check is if it's even or odd. So we check for evenness or oddness. If f of negative x is equal to f of x, then the function is even. But if f of x, negative x, sorry, is equal to negative f of x, then the function is odd. So here, let's see, f of negative x will be equal to negative x cubed plus 5 to negative x. That's going to give us negative into x cubed minus 5x. We can factor out the negative sign. That gives us negative into x cubed plus 5x. Finally, this gives us negative f of x. So since f of negative x equals negative f of x, so the function is odd. If f of negative x was equal to positive f of x, would have set it even. So take note. I think we left out negative inside this bracket here. Question 36. The value of k for which the function this f of x equals that is equal to k x plus 3 if x is less than 2, and x squared plus 1 if x is greater than 2 is continuous at x equals 2 is. So for continuity, f of x as x tends to a from below should be equal to f of x as x tends to x to a from above. So you're going to be using left-sided and right-sided continuity, or left and right continuities here, to find the value of k. Okay, so what does this mean? It means that k into 2 plus 3 should be equal to x squared into x squared plus 1 rather, but we're working at 2 because it continues at x equals 2. So from here we have our 2k to be equal to 2 and k is equal to 1. So the value of k for each function is continuous at x equals 2 is 1. 37. Let z be the complex number. The locus of points described by the complex number, the absolute value of z plus 2i equals 2 is. So to get the locus, what do? We just have to replace z here by x plus yi. We expand and simplify. Okay, so let's write it on. So this gives us x plus iy plus 2i, absolute value is equal to 2. From here, we bring like terms together, x plus y plus 2i is equal to 2. We now square whatever is inside this bracket. So x squared plus y plus 2 squared should be equal to the right hand side squared. X squared plus y plus 2 squared should be equal to the right hand side squared, that's 2 squared. So from there, you can see that this is a circle, right? This is a circle, and which of them here gives us the answer? Our key here is B. So this is the locus of the set of points. This is a circle with center at 0, negative 2, radius 2. 38. The principal argument of the complex numbers minus 1 plus root 3i, all that on 1 minus I is. Now, some students will prefer to, first of all, realize the denominator before looking for the argument. Some will just use the rules that arc numerator minus arc denominator. Any of the methods you use, you should get to the same answer. Okay. Some people may use arc z1 minus arc z2, where z1 is the numerator, z2 is the denominator. So from here, let's take note of the quadrants in which z is found. If you don't take note of that, we are going to make a very big mistake, which will not be good. So for z1, which is the numerator, we have minus 1 plus I root 3. The argument of that complex number is first of all in the second quadrant. So the argument of the complex number will be given by pi minus the value we are going to have, absolute value of what we are going to have there. Okay, the second quadrant. So these are the different quadrants and how to get the argument. For the first quadrant, which is here, the argument is just the absolute value of theta. For the second quadrant, is the absolute value is pi minus the absolute value of theta. The third quadrant is absolute value of theta minus pi. And for the fourth quadrant, it is negative the absolute value of theta. So take note of this. This one, third quadrant, you can see it in two ways. You have negative into pi minus absolute value of theta, or you write it like this. This one is very simple. So you just take the opposite of what you have here. The negative of this first and second quadrants gives you the third and fourth quadrants. So for this first one, the argument for z1 will be equal to pi minus. So the argument of minus 1 plus I root 3 is negative pi on 3. The absolute value is pi on 3. So the argument will be pi minus pi on 3, which is 2 pi on 3. Now for z2, which is the denominator, the argument for the denominator is given by arc z2. And this z2 is found in the fourth quadrant, as you can see, where the real part is positive, the imaginary part is negative. That's fourth quadrant. So the argument is given by negative the absolute value of the angle that we have there. So from here, our arc z2, alright, so this is supposed to be z2, not z1 again. This is at z2. That's going to be equal to negative pi on 4. So from here, the argument of our complex number will now be equal to 2 pi on 3 minus pi on 4. Okay, so that's going to give us 11 pi on 12. You can do it yourself. 11 pi on 12. The key here is A. Question 39. The values of x for which log x squared minus 10 base 3 minus log x base 3 equals 2 is. You can apply the laws of logarithms here now. This is subtraction. So we have log x squared minus 10 on x base 3 is equal to 2. Then we are going to now convert that to what? To exponential form. Converting that to exponential form, we are going to have 3 to the power 2 is equal to x squared minus 10 on x. So x squared minus 10 on x is equal to 3 to the power 2, which is 9. So this will finally give us a quadratic where we have x squared minus 10 is equal to 9x. And from here, x squared minus 9x minus 10 equals 0. We saw for x here, we are going to have the values of x when we factorize. You have x minus 10 into x plus 1. And from there, x will be equal to 10 or x equals negative 1. These are the two values we are going to have. And our key is A. And the last but not the least question for section A, question number 40. If y is equal to cos 5x, then y the x is, can differentiate cos x the same as cos. But note that when you differentiate cos x, there's nothing like negative. The derivative of cos x is sin x. The derivative of sin x is cos x. There's no negative. So just the derivative of the core, which is 5, times the derivative of cos 5x, which is sin 5x. Okay? So that's going to give us 5 sin 5x. Our key here is D. So once more again, if you are looking for a place to study here in Yaoundé or in Douala, we have many campuses where you can direct you for you to go for good studies as an Anglophone or as a Francophone. These are campuses where you put your money into good use and you will not regret it. One of the campuses that we are advertising so much in this video is ISPA. ISPA, Institut Supérieur Polytechnique Les Amandins. Okay, this is a private university in Yaoundé where you can do your HND, your bachelor, as well as your masters. About the registration procedures and everything about the institute, look at the link that is found below for more information. The fees is economical and you have all the different departments and wherever you can study. The school is found at Immeuble Makabo at Komkana, Chinga, Yaoundé, and they equally have branches that have been opened at Mesasi at Etudi, and another branch equally again still in Chinga. So make sure you contact us and you can register online before you come and pay your fees or tuition registration or whatever on the campuses. For more information, look at the video which we're going to provide after this and you have more details about this institute. So those of you who are preparing equally for or who wish to join the online system to prepare students for GCE, strictly preparation for GCE and exam focus, please look at the links below and contact us for more. For GCE past questions, HND past questions, and all other things, you can get to the links below and get to us. Now, one very other important place I talked about before, but the poster or the banner was not there yet there. If you are interested in doing computer studies in Yaoundé, and you live at Etukebe or BMRC or any other place, the one ideal destination is Atec Center. Atec Center. The ideal place is Atec Center. Where is Atec Center located? It's located at Petit Marché de Etukebe, Centre de Santé, or they just call it Centre or Centre d'Handicapé. You can get to them through any of this number on screen, +237 672 674 786, and you can talk to the manager, Mr. Dennis, who is actually the one managing this institution. For children who want to do computer holiday classes, this is an ideal place for you. For you to do general documentation, this is the ideal place for you. For do you want to do your software engineering or you want to do your internship holiday, this is the ideal place for you. If you are doing digital marketing and you're looking for a place, this is the ideal place for you. Irrespective of your age and whatever level, if you are interested in being a digital literate, a computer literate, and move away from illiteracy, then the ideal place in the whole of Yaoundé is no other place than Atec Center. And where is Atec Center located again? At Centre de Handicapé, not far from the parks of Mogamo, Amezam, and so on. It's just 100 francs. Come to Centre de Handicapé and come down to the market, Petit Marché. That is where it is located, right in that market. The area has enough space, it's convenient, and you can do your general documentation, secretarial duties, training programs. They host universities, they host students who are coming in for their BSc and HND and PhD programs, and a lot more. You can come for 1 month program, 3 months program, 6 months program, 9 months, 12 months, or 18 months. These are different programs that they offer. Equally, they have holiday classes for kids at different levels, which are being prepared at different levels of understanding. Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, computer fundamentals, basis of computer hardware, computer software, and coding for kids that are trying to follow the system that is being used in China. That's why the Chinese have developed so much and that prevents making these toys, creating so many things. Before they grow up, they already know the direction in which they are moving. This place is ideal and different from all other places because they do strict and intense practical. For those who have been here, you can ask from them and they will tell you the same. So the numbers can contact to get to these guys are on WhatsApp. You can contact +237 672 674 786. I take it again, +237 672 674 786. You can equally call them alternatively using the other number 674 292 830, and you get to them and everything will just be far more than your expectations. They have morning sessions, afternoon and evening sessions. If you are a worker and you're interested in study with kids, your own session is different. If you are only able to study during the weekend, this is the best time for you. There are many people who have done their crash programs and they have been certified. And one more important thing about this place is that this place is a certified place. Okay? it is a place where it's recognized by the government and issues certificates. So why not come here? Send somebody. Come, don't come alone, come with others, and I bet you will not regret. You're coming here will actually be a blessing, not just to you but to your family as well. At Tech Center, computing is no more about computers. It is about living. We now move to section B of the same paper. This section B2 should normally answer in 1 hour or less. And with this equally, we are equally reminding you that those of you who want to do your write your GCE in one year, that is 9 months. You want to prepare for GCE in 9 months. If you have not been going to school but you want to prepare online and you are ready, the zeal is there, or maybe the time is not there and whatever, GCE panel portal is the ideal place for you. Contact us on the links below this video and have more information. We are beginning on this August 2022. Register with us and prepare for your GCE 2024 and everything will just be super. Now, this section B, the first question reads, if f of x equals 4 root x minus 4, all that on x squared minus 1, what is the domain of this function? What is the domain of this function, f of x? And secondly, find the limits of f of x as x tends to 1. Find the limit of f of x as x tends to 1. So the first thing, let's start by looking for the domain. For the domain, there's a root here. So x is defined if whatever is inside this root sign is greater than 0. What you have there is x, so x should be greater than or equal to 0. But there's also another condition. This is also a rational radical function. Radical means root, but rational now is fraction. In this rational function, there is an x squared minus 1 in the denominator. So this denominator must not be equal to 0, because if it's equal to 0, this function will be undefined. So another condition is that x squared minus 1 should not be equal to 0. X should be greater than or equal to 0, and x squared minus 1 should not be equal to 0. So from here, I can just that x squared, x should be still greater than 0, and x squared minus 1 should not be equal to 0. So from here, it means that x should not be equal to negative 1, or x should not be equal to plus 1, because this x squared minus 1, when you solve for x, we are going to have plus 1 or minus 1. Okay? So it has to respect all of these conditions. First, the values of x must be greater than 0. Secondly, negative 1 and plus 1 are not included. So our domain will be from 0, which is included, negative 1. Now, negative 1 is outside this range because they say greater than or equal to 0. So negative 1 is here, is not included. So you are only looking from the range above 0. Negative 1, any region, any value below this negative or this 0 here is not included. So we only have from 0, from this first condition, we are okay from 0 upwards. So from this 0 upwards, we have to exclude what? 1. So the only thing we exclude there is 1. So our domain is a set of real numbers. From 0, 0 is included, but plus 1 is not included. So it's 0 to 1 from below and 1 from above to positive infinity. This is the domain of this function. And how many marks are these? See, marks are just coming in for free. The next part is to look for the limit of this function as x tends to 1. So for the limit, we start, if you just put 0 here, if you put 1 here directly, we are going to have 4 minus 4, which is 0, divided by 0. We're going to have 0 over 0, which is undefined. So we are going to first of all start by factorizing this. We have 4 into root x minus 1, all that into x minus 1 into x plus 1. But when I look at this x minus 1, I can see that I can further write it as a difference of 2 squares, again, as root x minus 1 into root x plus 1. So it can be written as 4 into root x minus 1, all this on root x plus 1 into root x minus 1, then times x plus 1, times this x plus 1 now here. Okay, now this root x minus 1 will cancel out this one. I'll be left with, can you see, I will left just with 4 all over root x plus 1 over x plus 1. Okay, so that's going to give us 4 over 1 over 2 plus 2, okay, which is 1. Alternatively, you can use the hospital rule, L'Hopital's rule, not l'hospital, the S not here, L'Hopital's rule. L'Hopital's rule, we are going to differentiate numerator and differentiate denominator and apply the limit. So the derivative of numerator here is going to give us 4 into what? 4 into 8 to a half times x to the power negative a half. Okay, all that on the denominator, the differential is going to be 2x. All this on 2x. Okay, so from here we can just put as x tends to 1, we are just going to have 1 in the numerator times 2, that's 2. All over 2 times 1, which is 2. So 2 over 2 also equally give us 1. Okay, so the limits are the same. Which method, no matter which method you use, you should arrive at the same answer. So if I further simplify this and take the limit, I'll still have the same thing, which is 1. So that's the limit as x tends to 1. So be careful with that. So join us to prepare for the GC in 9 months. We have talked so much about this. Click on the links below for more information. For you to continue this video, please, you have to subscribe and you'll see the next video to continue. Thank you so much, and please subscribe and share this video so that we are motivated to do more. Stay tuned and